All right, hello. Today, I felt like reading a book because reading is good for you. It's nice and healthy, and it can be very fun. And so tonight, or to not tonight, Jesus, it's not that late. Today, we're going to be reading one of my all-time Ian Livingstone favorite fighting fantasy novels. We're going to be reading The Warlock at Firetop Mountain. Very spooky. Now, this is an adventure book, which means it's a lot like playing D&D with yourself. And the book is kind of the DM, is how I would describe these books. It's how it was described to me when I was a child, and I bought this book for myself and spent the better half of a lot of summers actually reading and rereading the book, trying to do everything. And of course, I also cheated a lot, as you do when you're young. You cheat in these books because you can always go back or just not start over like the book intends you to. So, I already tested it out just to see how the book reads. And I think it's actually it's Russ Nicholson as the illustrations, and of course it's written by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. Yes, I'd like to start over. Sorry, just a lot of the stream stuff poking through. All right. So yeah, as I said, in the book it's an interactive adventure, and we're the hero, and we can only win if we choose the right paths. So we have to be wise and cunning to triumph over the challenges. Now, before we start, we have to roll some dice to make our character. So we have some important abilities here. We have our skill, which is how good we are with swords, and then we have our stamina, which is it's our health, basically. And before we choose, we have to choose, before we roll, we have to choose some stats or what difficulty we'll be playing on. Hardcore hero is, I think, or have read the printed from this book before. This difficulty mode allows you to test your courage or fight a mountain with the ultimate challenge. So yeah, this one is just the hardcore mode, and then there is free read, which is reading the book like if you were actually reading the book, which lets you cheat, funnily enough. Which of course is also interesting if you want to do that. But we're just going to read it like an actual adventure and play the book. So I think we'll pick adventure. Alright, so first we have to roll for our stamina, which is our health. Hopefully the game will roll a dice for me. I assume it will. 5. That's pretty bad, but it's a plus 12, so we get 17 stamina, which is not bad. It could be a lot worse. We could have 14. And then we just have to roll with the punches. Next we have to determine our skill, which is how good we are at fighting in general. Okay, we rolled a run. That's really bad. So now our fighting skill is 7, which means we... hello, Google. Don't mind me. I think the Google was interpreting something like I was talking to the Google. So yeah, a 7 is really bad. Like, you know, if this was D&D, we would have like -2 in our strength for dexterity right now, which is not good. Excuse me, just gonna have a little sip of my drink here. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. I knocked over something. With my lip balm. Anyway, fret not. There's always a way out, because we might get really lucky with our luck stat, which is a third stat that just influences a lot of things like magic and your general luck in finding loot and stuff like that. And we get a 3, which is not bad, because then we get 9. As you see, you only start with a +6. to luck and skill. All right. In addition to other starting equipment, you may take one bottle of magical potion, which will aid you in your quest. Each potion contains enough for one measure, so use it wisely. So it's a use once item. The potions of skill and strength will fully restore your skill and stamina points. Respectively, the potion of fortune will add 1 to your initial luck before you're fully restoring your luck points. See, we have really bad skill, but I am scared of dying, so I do think we're gonna take the strength potion, despite everything. And we can always try again when we die, it's okay. We're allowed to restart. If the in-game background noise becomes too boring, I guess I'll put on some more lo-fi or something else. And hopefully my model won't get in the way of the words. You begin your adventure with a sword and a shield, leather armor, a backpack containing provisions, food and drink, and a lantern to light your way. Thank God we don't have to bring our own torch. Rationing your provisions is key to a successful adventure. They may be consumed at any time, excluding combat. By accessing the adventure sheet, each meal restores 4 stamina. Be sure to pay close attention to your stamina and restore it regularly. So yeah, we have to eat food, otherwise we die. Eating food, very necessary. And we can also see how much food we have. We have 10 to start with, and any equipment or loot we get will also be on our character adventure sheet. So yeah, gotta keep an eye on that. My difficulty setting determines how many provisions I begin with. Yeah, so we start with 10 because we're in adventure. While hardcores only begin with 3. Ooh, that's gonna be hard if you only had 3. Damn, I can't imagine only having 3. I think in the OG book you got 10 as well when you were. Is this a text-based adventure but new code? Well, this is basically what text-based adventures started as. Like this was an actual physical book. I don't have it anymore because the one I had broke. I read it too much and it ripped up on the sides because it wasn't hard. It was paperback. Hydrate. Hi Kiwi. I'm not sure if Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Oh, I almost choked on my drink. Hi Kiwi. I'm not sure if this book was ever made into a game. I know that one of Ian's books, Death Trap Dungeon, was made into a very niche video game for the PS1 and PC. There's a very nice video Just Drive Hayes made of it on YouTube, which is very interesting. He also goes into a dive about the books themselves. It would be fun at some point. You could make polls. Yes, actually, I was thinking if there's a lot of viewer engagement, you guys can help pick our choices. That'll be more fun. As I remember a lot of this book, haven't read it a lot. So I do have some knowledge of what's going to happen. But I'll try to not be super biased. Alright, just to finish the page here. During your quest, you may encounter characters and items that alter your free scores, stamina, skill, and luck. Usually these scores may only ever be restored to their initial amount. On very rare occasions, a particular page may grant an effect that defies these rules. Aside from these occasions, some magic items may also allow you to exceed your initial score. Yeah, so if we should probably get a very good. Are we back? I think I'm back. Hello? Hello. We're back. We're so back, gamers. Yeah, the internet just had a little sploosh moment and did not like that I was going to be reading a book today. Also, apparently my frame rate, my outgoing, my bit rate is too unstable, which is great. So I might just need to change those settings real quick. Give me a moment. All right, we're just gonna have some technical difficulties. I'm just gonna have to fix that real quickly, but we'll be back in a moment. There we go. I had to unmute the mic. That's my bad, guys. That's my bad. But I fixed everything else, I think. So we should be, as the kids say, Gucci now. At least everything works. And I fixed the bit rate, so now it's like not so high, and it's more stable. So now the stream won't have a panic attack when I do things. Anyway, I believe everybody can see the game, so we're also good on that front. Or the book. It's not really a game. But yeah, I'm happy you like our technical difficulties picture, and yeah, you have fun while playing your game, beepers. All right. So we learned about items and how we might get magical buffs from items. Once you've readied your equipment, you may begin. May the luck of the gods go with you on your adventure ahead. Well, thank you, book. That's very nice of you. Let's just make sure we have all our stuff. I do believe we do. Good thing that the game writes it down for me. I was notoriously bad with this myself as a young lad, but we'll get there. I'm sure with the game keeping track of stuff, it'll be a lot easier to play. Oh, my phone. It's still vibrating. You know what? I'll turn that off real quick so it doesn't distract me. If I can find the button to turn it off. There we go. Only a foolhardy adventurer would embark upon such an perilous quest without first finding out as much as possible about the mountain and its treasures. Before your arrival at the footsteps of Firetop Mountain, You spent several days with a humble townsfolk of a village some 2 days' journey from the base. Being a likable sort of person, you found it easy to get on with the locals. I am very likable, it is true. Always trust a flump. We're very trustworthy. Although they told many stories about the mysterious Warlock sanctuary, you could not feel sure that all, or indeed any, of these were based on fact. The villagers had seen many adventurers pass through on their way to the mountain, but very few ever returned. Gulp. The journey ahead was extremely dangerous, that you knew for certain. For those who returned to the village, none com- contemplated going back to Firetop Mountain. There seemed to be some truth in the rumor that the Warlock's treasure was stored in a magnificent chest with 2 locks, and the keys to these locks were guarded by various creatures within the dungeons. The Warlock himself was a powerful sorcerer, or a sorcerer of great power, depending on how you read words. Some describe him as old, others young, and some said his power came from an enchanted deck of cards. I see. He has the deck of many things, guys. I think we lost. I don't think I can win this one. Maybe he lets me pull a card and I just lose. Others from a silky black gloves he wore. Ah, magic gloves, obviously. The entrance to the mount was guarded by a pack of warty-faced goblins, stupid creatures really, fond of their food and drink. Towards the inner chambers, the creatures became more fearsome. To reach the inner chambers, you would have to cross a river of some sort. How about we snooze that ad? I don't feel like having an ad on right now. Now, where was I? The ferry service was regular, but the ferrymen enjoyed good barter, so you should save a gold piece for the trip. The locals also encourage you to keep a good map of your wanderings, for without a map, you would end up hopelessly lost within the mountain. See, that's a thing with these old books. You really, and the book even stresses this, you should draw a map so you know where you're going, so you don't get turned around. And that way, when you come back and play the game another time, you have the map, and so you can, like, if you forgot or weren't as good as keeping in bookmarks as I wasn't very particularly good at that. Then having your map drawing and like your notes of the book scribbled really helped you out. I do think we do get a map for free, but of course, as we haven't started yet, there's no drawing in the map yet. When it finally came to your day of leaving, the whole village turned out to wish you a safe journey. Tears came to the eyes of many of the villagers, young and old alike. You couldn't help wondering whether they were tears of sorrow shed by eyes which would never see you alive again. Now turn over. The page. I believe he means the page. Oh, that's a good painting right there. Stirs up a lot of thoughts. Looks like a big mountain. At last, your 2-day hike is over. You unsheath your sword, lay it on the ground, and sigh with relief as you lower yourself down onto the mossy rocks to sit for a moment's rest. You stretch and rub your eyes and finally look up at Firetop Mountain. Very spooky. The very mountain itself looks menacing. The steep face in front of you looks like to have been savaged by claws of some gargantuan beast. Sharp rocky crags jut out at unnatural angles. At the top of the mountain you can see the eerie red coloring, probably some savage vegetation, which has given the mountain its name. Perhaps no one will ever know exactly what grows up there, as climbing the peak must surely be impossible. Your quest lies ahead of you. Across the clearing is a dark cave entrance. You pick up your sword, get to your feet, and consider what dangers may lie ahead of you. But with determination, you thrust the sword home into its scabbard. I thrust it. I don't trust my sword. Never trust your sword. And we approach the cave. I peer in to the gloom to see dark, slimy walls with pools of water on the stone floor in front of me. The air is cold and dank, I light my lantern and step wearily into the blackness. Cobwebs brush your face, and you hear the scurry of tiny feet. Rats, most likely. You set off into the cave. After a few yards, you arrive at a junction. Will you turn west or east? I am surprised I know which way is east or west, seeing as I don't have a compass. But as for right now, we have the cave entrance, and that's our only drawing on the map. And as you can see, we need a big paper, because it's a big map. Firetop Mountain is very expensive. So west or east? Where to go? Also, look how interesting it is. Like, because we're like basically we're on page like 5 or 10 at the moment. I don't think there's actual page numbers in here, but we have to go to 71 or 278, which I always thought was neat that you get to skip around so much in a book. Because again, this was my first Finding Fantasy book, so I wasn't used to you could just read a book and just jump ahead and do things, but the game actually instructs you to do so. I think we shall go. Let's go west. Any objections? No. I'd think not. Ooh, that reminds me, I should probably change some stream settings really quickly so that I can interact with viewers in real time. There we go. That'll make stuff a little easier. All right, we're back in the book. All right, so we went west, I think. I can hardly remember which way we already went. There's a right-hand turn to the north in the passage. Cautiously, you approach a sentry post on the corner, and as you look in, you can see a strange goblin-like creature in leather armor asleep at his post. So yeah, there's a goblin. He's just napping. He's just having a little nap, a little chill. He's just chilling out. So we have to test our luck to I presume to see if we wake him up or not. So let's test our luck. I am lucky. I needed a luck score of 9 or lower, and I rolled a 9. Good job. So I am lucky, which means we can't see what happens if we're unlucky. What a shame. He does not wake up and remains snoring loudly. I continue on. To my left, on the west face of the passage, there is a rough-cut wooden door. I listen at the door and can hear a rasping sound, which may be some sort of creature snoring. Do you want to open the door? If so, turn to page 82. If you wish to press on northwards, turn to 208. Interesting. So do we open the door? Are we that curious to hear what's behind door number 1? Or shall we move on and not risk it? It could be a fiendish monster back there, or another sleeping goblin. Could be lots of things, really. I'm not sure. I think my greed has taken a hold on me. I believe I will open the door. Just have a look. You never know. There might be something I need in here. So let's open the door. The door opens to reveal a small, smelly room. In the center of the room is a rickety table on which stands a lit candle. Underneath the table is a small wooden box. Asleep on a straw mattress in the far corner of the room is a short, stocky creature with an ugly, warty face. The same sort of creature that you found asleep at the sentry post. He must be the guard for the night watch. You may either return to the corridor and press northwards, or creep into the room and try to take the box without waking the creature. So there's another goblin sleeping in here. So now the question is, do we steal from the sleeping goblin, or do we just leave? I feel very lucky that the book doesn't outright kill me at this point. For steal, are we stealing from the goblin? I guess we will be trying to steal from the goblin. You take a few careful steps closer to the box, and now I must test my luck. So let's hope we get lucky yet another time. You need a luck score of 8 or lower, and you rolled a luck score of 11. Sadly, your luck has run out. Oh well. I am unlucky, so now we turn to page 33. The sleeping creature awakens startled. Oh no. He jumps up and rushes at you, unarmed, with your sword. You should be able to defeat him, but his sharp teeth look rather vicious. So now we have to fight this orc, apparently. So let's hope we can beat an orc. He has a stamina of 4 and a skill of 6. And I must fight. We cannot escape. So we win the first bout. It's basically you roll dice, and then whoever rolls higher wins. So I hit the orc, and now we can test our luck, but I think we will just keep fighting him for now, because we're just as good at fighting as we are lucky. We're currently not that lucky because we messed up our luck a little bit. Well, there we go. Excellent. We are triumphant. We have slain the orc. Wonderful. So I guess it didn't matter that we weren't lucky. How good. All right. Let's see. I may now take the box. You leave the room and open the box in the passage. Inside you find a single piece of gold and a small mouse, which must have been the creature's pet. You keep the coin and release the mouse, which scurries off down the passageway. You gain 2 luck points, which is good because we ran out of luck. So now we're back to our initial 9 luck, and we got a gold piece, which we need for the ferry. So good idea stealing. That's actually going to come in handy, I think. Further up the passage, along the west wall, you see another door. You listen at it, but hear nothing. If you want to try and open the door, turn to page 397. If you want to continue northwards, turn to page 363. Well, opening the door went so well last time. I can't see why we shouldn't try opening this one. The door opens to reveal a small room with a stone floor and dirty walls. There's a stale smell in the air. In the center of the room, there's a makeshift wooden table on which is standing a lit candle. Under the table is a small box. In the far corner of the room, there's a straw mattress. I mean, surely this other orc, I presume, because this might be the other guy's room, has something in it. We open the box. It's light, but something rattles within. You open the lid and a small snake darts out to bite your wrist. Oh no. We have to fight a snake. I've been bamboozled by the book. Oh no. The book really got me. Time to fight a snake. And luckily we beat the snake. No problem. Because it is just a snake and we're a guy with a sword. So it's not that hard. We killed the snake. The box has fallen to the ground during your fight with the snake, and out of it has fallen a small bronze-colored key with the number 99 carved into it. You take this key and you leave the room. We gain 1 luck point, which is a bit sad because we can't go above 9 luck. So yeah, that does nothing, sadly. All right, let's see here. Further up the passage, on the west wall, you see another similar door. You listen at the door and grimace to hear the worst singing you've ever heard in your life. Do you want to go into the room to investigate this hideous din, or walk on the passageway? Turn to 42. I mean, if someone's awake in here and ready for anything, well, they're definitely ready for a song. It would seem. Then I do think, um, against my better judgment, that we should keep moving, despite our greed. So I think we'll keep walking. You eventually arrive at the end of the passage at a freeway junction. uh, you may turn either to the west or to the east. So let's have a look at our map just to see where we've been so far. So we went west, we met the goblin sentry, then we found the guard room, and then we came by another small room. And now we have the chance to go even more west, which I think might be could be an idea, or we could go east. Either works. I cannot remember which way or what is where, so it's I don't really think we should think too hard about it, and we should just go somewhere. So let's go west. That way we will have explored all of the western side of the mountain. The passageway runs straight for several meters. That's a long time. And then ends at a wooden door. You listen at the door and you hear angry shouting coming from within. Somebody's angry. How about we investigate? You open the door to a large room. A large chair behind a solid-looking table suggests to you that someone or something of rank uses this room. A chest in the center catches your eye. In a corner of the room stands a man-sized creature with a warty face, standing over a smaller creature of similar race. With the whip in his hand, the orc chieftain has been beating his servant, who is whimpering beneath him. Look at that nasty orc. He's just whipping this guy real good. He's getting his whips in. He did not watch him, nay. Will you attack them both, spring at the chieftain in the hopes that the servant will aid you, or leave the room and head back to the junction? I mean, we could just turn around and leave. That is an option. So what do we think here? Do we just go for both of them, or do we attack the chieftain and hope that the servant might be more helpful towards us if we beat up his abuser? What do we think would be a good idea here? I mean, the obvious heroic answer is attacking the chieftain, I believe. We could also just leave. Just turn around and just go away. Spring. Yeah, I think we attacking the chieftain alone. Jump the dude. Yeah, we're gonna jump the chieftain. As you spring at the chieftain, his servant rises to his feet, picks up a hefty wooden stick, and joins the melee. But to your disappointment, he attacks me, ungrateful wretch. Damn it. I should have seen this coming. Seeing this, you may escape through the door down the corridor, which is the same as just leaving, because it's the same page number. Or we can continue to fight both of them. Do we think we can beat an orc chieftain? How's our stats looking? I mean, we are full health. We aren't strong, but we have full health. I mean, we haven't lost a fight yet, so if we were gonna lose a fight, it would be now. So I do think that we should continue to the fight. The orcs rush toward you, and the battle commences. You must fight. So we start against the chieftain, who is just as strong as me, but he's a little weaker stamina-wise. Luckily, I rolled higher than him. We are very lucky today. I say one more hit might do it, but we could lose this one. Ow. He hits us. That's okay. We only lose 2 health. not that bad. Okay, now it's getting a little bad because he does it twice. 3 times now. Okay. There we go. So you roll 2 dice and you add your skill. That's how you calculate attacks. So we defeated the chieftain. Now we must face the servant, who apparently did not want to help me beat his boss up, which understandable. Love the dedication, buddy. Luckily, the servant is not that strong, so hopefully he will be an easy bout. And that he was. Alright, if you defeated both the chieftain and his wretch, turn to page 21. The green blood of the dead orcs smell as foul as it seeps into their bodies. Seep from their bodies, excuse me. You step around the corpses and investigate the chest. It is sturdy. It is a sturdy affair, made of a strong oak and iron, and is firmly locked. I may try to smash the lock with my sword. Well, first of all, before we engage this mimic, I believe it potent to eat some provisions to get some life back. Now we're at 15, which is fine. You know what, we worked hard to get this loot. I say we try to smash this lock. The lock was obviously inadequate. It flies off and lands on the floor several meters away. You lift up the heavy lid and your eyes widen as you see the gold sheen coming from within. A fair number of gold pieces are inside. In one corner lies a small black bottle with a tight glass stopper, containing a liquid of some kind. Also in the chest is a silky black glove. But as you're admiring this treasure, you hear a soft click and wince in pain as a small dart shoots forward. Good thing we healed. Into your stomach. To determine the potency of the poison, you must roll a dice. So we could die from this. We could die from this poisoned dart trap. You rolled 6 and lost 6 stamina. Good thing I didn't die then. But let's eat some more food. Or maybe drink our potion. I think drinking the potion this early could be risky. But I think we might need to. So we're drinking the potion. That'll get us back to full. Alright. I'm still alive. So let's keep going. You sink to the floor, you pull the dart out, and you decide to bandage the wound. This gives some relief, but you're still weak. I am still weak. Thank you for letting me know, game. You decide to take it easy and examine the contents of the chest. There are 25 gold pieces, nice, and the label on the bottle shows that it's a potion of invisibility. Good for 1 dose. That's pretty good. The glove is a mystery. You put all of these into your haversack and leave the room. So now we got a silky black glove, a potion of invisibility, and some provisions. We also have 26 gold pieces now. More than enough to pay the ferryman. You arrive back at a junction in the passage and walk straight eastward. You arrive at yet another junction in the passage. You may either go north or east. Interesting. Well, we can't go west anymore, so let's go north. Might as well. Let's just have a look at our map real quick. Well, alright then. It's just nice to know where we've been. You see a well-used door on the right hand, east side of the passageway. With your ear at the keyhole, you listen and hear a man screaming for help from the inside. Will you open the door or walk past and ignore the screams? Ooh, spooky. So somebody's not having a good time in here. I mean, we did just heal up, so we are in a very good condition to try and help. So I do think that this time we do have energy to spare to be a good guy and help out. So I think we will try to see what's inside. The door's locked. Ah, god dang it. You may use your skill to try and charge it down. If the number rolled is equal to or less than your skill score, the door bursts open. Okay, so we just need to roll below our skill, which is what? Our skill is 7. So we just have to roll below average of a 2 die roll, which is possible, definitely. 50-50-ish. Let's see what we get. That's not below. I failed the skill check. The door remains locked. Oh well. That's it. Can't go back and retry, which is the cool thing about these games. We also lose the stamina because we hurt our shoulder real bad. So now we have 16. Ah, dang it. Well, let's keep going. Further up the passage, you see a door in the east wall. You listen hard, but can hear no sound. Do you want to open the door and investigate? If so, turn to page 223. If you want to walk further up the passage, turn to 300. Well, might as well have a look. We've looked in almost every room we've been to so far. It would be weird to stop looking now. The door's firmly locked. Are you sensing a pattern here? You know what? Sure, let's try to open this one too. 7, we passed the check. So now we can open the door. Ooh. What's here? The door splits along its length, and you can wrench the timbers apart to let yourself in. A torch hangs from one wall, lighting up a small armory room, stocked with swords and shields, helmets and daggers, breastplates, and the like. You examine the weaponry and find nothing appearing superior to your own sword. That's a shame. So, no good loot. However, a circular iron shield with a golden crescent at its center catches your eye. You pick it up and feel its weight on your arm. This shield will aid you in battle by helping to fend off damage. Your skill is increased by 1, which is pretty good. You add the crescent shield to your gear and leave the room, continuing up the corridor. So now our skill is 8. That's pretty good. New item. Let's see here. Turn to page 300. Alright. On the east wall of the passage, you see another door. Yet more door. This time made of solid metal. Listening at the door, you hear the sound of tortured screams coming from within. If you wish to try opening the door, turn to 102. If you decide to ignore this room and continue up the corridor, turn to 303. Well, what do we think? Do we want to open the door? Open the door, as you say. We will try to open the door. The door is not locked. Surprisingly, this torture room is unlocked. The room in front of you seems to be a small torture chamber with various torture devices around the walls. So it is a torture chamber, good to know. In the center of the room, 2 small hunchback creatures are torturing a dwarf who is tied to a hook in the ceiling by his wrists. Ugh. The 2 hunchbacks are poking and cutting him viciously with their swords. The dwarf lets out a final scream and falls silent, eyes closed. His captors make disappointed sounds and look around angrily at you as if it was your fault the dwarf had collapsed. What a bunch of dicks. You must act quickly. Will you close the door and continue up the corridor? So, again, just leave. Draw your sword and try to fight these creatures, or stride over to the dwarf, give him a jab with your sword, and put on an evil laugh for the torturers. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So we can try to be evil, or we can fight these things, or we can just go away. Leaving is optional. It's just like in the old Telltale games where silence is an option. You can always just not say anything. Well, here's the thing. Poor dwarf. Yeah, indeed, poor dwarf. What, he did not deserve this. Anyhow, we are pretty good on health, so don't think. I think we can. I think we can take these guys. Hopefully, they're small hunchbacks, so they can't be that strong. I wager. I think we take these guys as revenge for the dwarf. I don't think we want to be mean and desecrate the dwarf's body. That's not nice. These two evil creatures are goblins. They attack you one at a time. Time to fight the small goblin. Ah, dang it, we lost. Only one, though, only one. Alright, that's bad. That's worse. That's way worse. I feel like we're gonna join the dwarf soon. Alright, that's better. That's way better. That's not so good. But we still win, because we're more skilled than the goblin. You defeated the first goblin, now you must face the second goblin. Oh boy. I should have saved that potion, I think. Should we try our luck? No, I think we should just keep fighting. You both miss. Great. And I believe we killed the goblin. Another triumph for the flump. Alright, we killed the goblins. If I was defeated, we would probably have a fun scene of me getting tortured. But that didn't happen, thankfully. You cut down the dwarf. He is, as you guessed, dead. Going through the pockets of the two goblins, you find a large piece of sweet-smelling cheese. Nice, I got cheese. You put it in your pack and you leave the room northwards. I guess we have cheese. Yep, that's it. Adventure over. We got the cheese. Let's go home, Grubbit. The cheese is an object. I guess I can't eat the cheese. I will, however, eat some provisions. Just to get some health back. Just so we don't die. What a nice painting. You arrive at the end of the passage, where it meets another going eastward, but an iron portcullis blocks your way, and no amount of charging is going to budge it. On the wall to your right, there are two levers, and it seems likely that these levers have something to do with raising the portcullis. Do you wish to pull the right lever or the left lever? Well, Kronk, pull the lever. It can only be the right or the wrong lever. Or in this case, the right or the left lever. Now, what are we thinking? Right or left lever? Pull the lever, Kronk. Yes. I think we're gonna pull. I mean, we have only went west, which would be left. How much damage could we possibly take if we... I don't think we have any item here that will make it easier to pull the lever. So, well, let's pull the left lever. To your horror, you realize that this is a dummy lever was a trap. Oh no. Although it looked like a handle, it was in fact a wax-coated sword blade, and it has now cut your hand badly. Did you use your right or your left hand? This is bad. This is very bad. presuming we're right-handed, if we cut our right hand, we wouldn't be able to hold our sword. But if we use our left hand, presuming again we're right-handed and we have our sword in our right hand, then we can't have our shield on, which also sucks. But for the sake of being able to hit stuff, I believe we'll say left. Use your right hand to pull the lever. Oh, wait, what? Can I not go back? I guess not. Did I click the wrong one? I might have clicked the wrong one. Oh well. Use your right hand to pull the lever to determine whether your right hand is your dominant hand, and whether this injury will affect your sword fighting prowess. Roll a die. Oh, okay. You rolled a 1. The hand you used to pull the trick lever was your dominant hand. Oh no. And your fighting prowess has been severely hampered. Lose 3 skill points and 1 stamina. Oh no. This is very bad. We already had bad skill, but now we have even worse skill. You pull the correct lever, and the portcullis begins to move. I guess we did do the cronk bit correctly. I did pull the wrong lever. But it wouldn't be any fun if we did this and didn't fall into the traps. The traps are the fun part. After taking a moment to bandage your injuries, you pull the correct lever and the portcullis begins to move. Nice. If you're still alive, I am. You hear a deep rumbling noise and the ground begins to shudder. Slowly and noisily, the portcullis rises into the ceiling. You may now walk to the junction. Will you turn west or east? And while I think on that, I think we're going to have a little ad break. Because I need to use the restroom. And I could use another drink. So be right back. And welcome back. Got myself a new diet drink here. Very nice. With some lemon. Alright. Well, I say we keep going west, because west is the best, and we've always been going west so far, so why not keep going west? That's what I say. So let's go west. Shortly along the passage. Can't change the habit yet. No, exactly. Alright, shortly along the passage, you arrive at another junction. Ah, dang. We can either go straight east or head northwards. Well, or straight west. Excuse me. Let's have a look at our map real quick. Oh, so we went in a circle. Interesting. Interesting. All right, well, let's go. Let's keep going west. The passageway continues westwards and then turns due north. Some way up, you reach a junction where your narrow passage runs off to the west. So do we go northwards or do we take the west way? I believe we keep going west. As you walk along the corridor, you can see ahead that it is getting narrower. At one point, you stoop, and as you do, a deep, resonating laugh starts up around you. Do you wish to continue? Well, I ain't gonna let this book laugh at me, so I think we will continue. The narrow passageway eventually becomes too small for you to walk along. You get down on your hands and knees and crawl eventually. You will get no further, and there seems to be no way through, so you decided to return to the main passage. You head for the junction. Oh well, I guess going west was a waste of time. You arrive back at the junction and turn northward. So, to recap, do we have a map? We do not get a map of our silly going back and forth. What a shame. Several meters up the passageway, you arrive at a junction where you may turn either west or east. Set in the rock in the north wall is a small recess where you may safely rest. After taking a moment to recover your strength, you look at the two paths ahead of you. Oh, before me, sorry. I may set off either eastward or westward. So shall we go west again? Anyway, I do believe we should eat some food. Just to get our strength back up. Can't be a bad idea. I say we go westward. You walk westwards along the passageway. After 50 meters or so, the way turns northwards. 2 or 3 paces up the passage, you hear a crumbling beneath your feet, and you try to leap back as the ground gives way. Oh no. Let's test our luck. Excellent, I'm lucky. You manage to leap quickly before a pit opens. You reach a junction and continue eastward. Good thing we didn't fall in. You follow the passage eastward for several meters and then it turns to the north. Shortly you reach another junction where you may either go straight on or you may turn right into an eastward passage that soon turns north to page 311. Well, there is no choice to go west here, so I think we will just continue straight on. The passage ends at a wooden door, trimmed in iron. Various inscriptions adorn the door, but none makes any sense to you. You listen, but you hear nothing. You may either open the door or return to the junction. I think we know that we're gonna open a lot of doors today. The door opens into a small room, comfortably furnished with a table, several chairs, and a large bookcase which covers one wall. Seated at the table is an old man with a long grey beard, and squatting on the old man's shoulder is a small winged beast. Ah. This creature is no more than 6 centimeters tall. It has 2 arms and legs, and its skin is dusty grey color. Dusty grey devil, full of grey dust. It has tiny, sharp white teeth, and its wings are folded behind its back. The old man says nothing as you walk in through the door, but he beckons you over to sit down at the table. He is tossing in his hand 2 small white objects. Ooh, he wants to play dice games. Do we sit down as he requests, leave the room and return to the junction, or draw my sword and rush forward? Maybe this is the famed Warlock of Firetop Mountain, and if that's the case, I think we're a little boned, but I say we try to play games with him regardless. I mean, it would be pretty fun, I think. So let's have a sit. The old man does not look up from the table, but his devilish little pet eyes you suspiciously. Ooh, spooky. And starts chattering in a small, squeaky voice. The old man grunts and asks whether you are game for a wager. Will you accept? You may only do so if you have at least one gold piece. If so, turn to page 130. If not, you may decide to leave the room. Or we can attack him. Well, seeing as we do have at least one gold piece, I think it prudent that we at least try to play a game with him. The old man asks for your stake. You may bet between 1 and 20 gold pieces, but no more than I possess. Well, good thing I have 26 gold pieces, and we only need the one. He tosses the white dice he's been playing with to you and asks you to roll. Once you've decided how many gold pieces you wish to bet, each of you will roll 2 dice. If your total is higher, you win the amount of your stake from the old man. If his total is higher, you lose your stake. You may continue for as long as you have gold pieces. Gambling? I'm in. I love some gambling. All right. So let's choose how much gold do we wish to bet. Let's start with a nice and simple round number. Well, we don't want to bet too much in the start. We might lose half our fortune. So let's bet 5 gold pieces. Then roll against the old man. You rolled an 8 against an 8. It's a draw. When you're finished, I guess we can bet again if we wish to bet some money from the old man. I lose. How about we try? I mean, we were initially gonna bet 10, so how about we just bet 5 more? I mean, the worst that can happen is we lose again. Luckily, I didn't, so now I earned back my original winnings. So right now I have 26 gold. All right, how about we bet 6, just straight up 6. That way we have a nice round number if we lose, and we get a lot. We get at least 12 if we win. So Snake Eyes has to count for something, doesn't it? All right. So now we're down to 20 gold. I want to keep gambling because I am a gambling man, or flump. But I think that's enough for now. Oh, we can just leave. He doesn't care that we just leave. All right, then. You arrive back at the junction, and this time, take the passageway to the east. The passageway runs for several paces eastwards, then turns north. The passageway ends in a door. You press your ear to it and listen, but hear nothing. Trying the handle, you find that the door opens to reveal a large square room. The room is completely bare, but the floor is covered in a mosaic of tiles. 2 shapes stand out on the floor, star-shaped tiles and hand-shaped tiles. A door on the opposite wall is the only way through. Will you walk across the room to the door, walk across the room stepping only on stars, or walk across the room stepping only on hands? Interesting. So are we a hands man or a star man? Or adventure, I guess. I don't think we ever picked our gender, to be frank. I think we shall. I mean, the highest number is just walking across, but then we also turn back in the book because we're on 311 now. Which might mean something and it might not mean something. Can we see the room again? See, the thing with the pattern of the hands and the stars, it's not even either. It's a little mishmashed, which is interesting to me anyway. I think... Let us just walk across. Let's not give a care for these stars nor hands. Parlor trick, nothing more. In order to safely cross the room, you must test your luck 3 times. Oh boy. Well, you need a luck score of 8 or lower, and you rolled a 10. Sadly, your luck has run out. Oh well. If you're unlucky, turn to 108. Oh boy. The moment your foot touches a hand tile, you feel a vice-like grip on your ankle and look down to see a ghostly white hand gripping your leg. You fight for your balance and manage to regain it, but to your horror, you see that that from every hand-shaped tile in the floor, a similar apparition has appeared, and that the floor across to the door is now scattered with ghoulish hands flexing and stretching in the air. You draw your sword and chop at the hand. You must fight. So we have to fight some ghost hands now. Spooky. Luckily, the ghost hands, they don't have a lot of life, but they seem very skilled. So hopefully they won't end us. But it seems that we are out of luck. Let's try one more fight, and if we fail this one, I think we might need to press our luck. Otherwise, we're in a bad state of affairs. Let's try to be lucky. Dang it. At least we win one fight. Hopefully, we'll keep winning. Just barely. Just barely we are triumphant. Before we forget, let's eat some more food. Yes. If you destroy the ghostly apparitions, turn to 185. The hand withers and shrinks back into the floor. At the same time, the other hands stop dead and slowly fade downwards into the tiles. You decide this time to step on the star-shaped tiles, moving carefully across the room to the door in the north wall. The door opens, add 2 luck points. Wahoo! We're lucky now. Well, not really. We almost died to a grabby hand, but I mean, it's fine. We have 6 provisions left. I'm sure it'll be fine. The passageway ahead runs northwards, and you follow this until you reach another junction. A lot of junctions in this book. Here you may either continue northwards, or you may turn westwards. Westwards? I believe we're going west. Some way along the passage, the corridor bends around to the north, and you follow it until you reach another junction. At this junction, you see an arrow cut into the rock pointing to the north, and you decide to try this direction. It's a shame it won't let me keep going west. I feel like the book is judging me now, if anything. So see, if we were in the guard room and we went left, we would have gotten into the torture chamber. That's why the torture chamber just took us back up here, because we've already been here. All right. Let's keep going. The passage runs northwards, and ahead you can hear the splashing of an underground river. The river becomes cool and fresh. You soon reach a wide opening of a riverbank, but despair as you look across to see no way through. On the other side, to the east of the river, flows through a cave. To the east, the river flows through a cave The rock. Ah, okay. You may sit and rest and eat provisions if you wish, or continue by what seems to be the only way forwards, jumping into the river and swimming downstream. Well, we did hear a rumor, if you remember from the start of the book, that told us about a ferryman that can take us across. So I think if we just wait a minute, calm down, eat some food, then we can wait up here, and hopefully the man will come. Or we get attacked by a giant slug monster, I guess. That's cool too. I love these books. Anything can happen. You squat on the sandy bank as you prepare your meal, and you notice movement in the sand. A couple meters to your left, the movement becomes quite turbulent, and you spring to your feet, sword at the ready. Suddenly, a large tubular head, totally tubular, bro, breaks through the surface, twists around in the air, and picks up your scent. The smooth, segmented body of a giant sandworm rears up and sways over in your direction. As it does so, a large orifice with short, spiky teeth opens in what must be its head. I guess we fight now. Oh boy, this is a strong monster. We must fight it, though. Luckily, we rolled really well on the first hit. Should we try our luck? I think I'll try my luck. You're lucky. Your weapon hits hard. Do 2 more damage. That's nice. Oh, that's bad. We could escape, but I do feel like we might be able to beat this guy if we roll good. Now, I think luck might be a good solution here. Take 1 less damage. That's nice. Especially now that we got hit. You both miss. Awesome. We both miss. Not great. Let's try our luck again. Okay, we get 1 health back. That's good. Alright, we just need 1 more hit, and this sandworm is toast. There we go. Easy fight. We rolled them dice really well. Oh. If you bested this gargantuan horror, turn to 44. If you want to escape, after 3 attack rounds, you may dive into the river and swim downstream. If you are defeated by this abomination, I mean, we aren't, because we won. Panting after the struggle, you sit down to collect yourself and finish the provisions you started. You regain 4 stamina. Good. We kind of needed that. When you're finished, you pack your bag and wade into the stream. I guess going into the stream was inevitable. Should have gone from the start, but oh well. The current is strong and takes you swiftly downstream. You are washed along through a narrow opening and into a large cavern with banks on both sides. The current washes you onto the south bank. You are on a south bank of an underground river. Across its black depths, there appear to be 4 ways of crossing. To your left, a rusted bell bears the sign "Ferry Service, 2 gold pieces, please ring." There's a small raft in front of you on the bank with a long stick resting beside it. You could punt across the river. A rickety old bridge crosses on the right. If you don't trust any of these, you may swim. So we have a lot of options here. But I do think, since we have so much gold, and we did save it for the ferryman, I think that taking the ferry is a good choice. This will also bring us all the way back to page 3. The bell gives a dull clang, and after a few moments, you see a withered old man climb into a small rowing boat. Moored on the north bank, he rows slowly across to you, moors the boat, and limps towards you. He asks you for 3 gold pieces. When you protest at the price, and he mumbles some flimsy excuse about inflation, he begins to get angry at your protestations. Do you pay him 3 gold pieces? Sure, we have the money. It is more than fine. But his price did say 2. But I do agree with the old timer that inflation has indeed hit hard. So it will pay him the 3 gold. He calms down, takes the gold, and rows across the north bank. After mooring the boat, he ambles off down a passageway. You have arrived on the north bank of a fast-flowing river in a large underground cavern. Facing northwards, the rock face is smooth and glistening with moisture. Moss of many different hues grow on the surface. There is an eerie silence, punctuated only by the splashing of the river as it flows behind you. You have 3 options. A passage run off to the northwest. If you take this route, turn to page 271. A large timber door is directly in front of you, in the middle of the rock face. If you open the door, turn to page 104. Another passage runs along the river eastward. To follow this along the riverbank, turn to 99. Well, we can go northwest, which is a kind of west, so we'll go this one, I think. The short passage begins to narrow and ends a few meters ahead at a doorway. If you wish to go through the door, turn to page 336. If you decide to against this direction, turn back. All right. Let's see what's behind door number 11. Ooh, that's not a nice looking dog right there. You're in a small, foul-smelling room. You notice 2 doors, one to the west and one behind you, to the south. The room is sparse and has been made mostly from bits of old boats. There appears to be nothing of value in the room, but a bunch of keys hang on the wall. An old man in ragged clothes is slumped asleep on a bench made from half of a rowing boat, snoring loudly. Next to him is a vicious-looking brown dog with red eyes and black teeth. You have awakened it, and it is eyeing you suspiciously. A deep growl is coming from its throat. You may tiptoe past and exit through the south door, which is where we came from, bang on the door behind you, and cough a few ums to wake up the old man, or leap across the room, saw drawn to cut down the dog. I think waking up the man here is better than killing his angry dog. That is angry that I came into their house. So you know what? I think we'll try and wake up the man. The old man's eyes flutter open. He sees you and gropes for a half oar lying by his bench. You tell him you mean him no harm, but he remains on guard and eyes you cautiously. Although he looks harmless enough, his dog could be dangerous. The man's boots are undone. Will you rush the dog with your weapon drawn, ask the man questions regarding your quest, or tell him that his boots are undone? Let's be a gentleman, even if this man decides to fight us, and do the good thing and tell him that his shoes are indeed undone. The old man thanks you and rather sheepishly ties up his boots. You explain that you mean no harm, and he calms down. See? Sometimes it's good just to be a nice guy. Calling off his dog. He tells you that this area is the only passageway through to the inner chambers. Interesting. Some years ago, the river swelled after a particularly severe spring thaw and cut off supplies from the outside world. All the inhabitants are starved to death, but the master, realizing he needed defenses against the outside world, put a curse on the area. The last remaining creatures became the undead and now guard the passageway through. He starts to inquire about you. Will you be straight with him and tell him of your quest, thank him for the chat, and leave through the south door. Try to grab the keys and go to the nearest door. I think we'll be straight with this guy. He's been nothing but kind to us so far. Why would you do such a thing? When the old man learns of your quest for treasure, he becomes angry and bids you begone. He'll have nothing to do with the fortune hunters. His dog senses his anger and snarls menacingly. You may either smile and thank him and exit through the south door, or you may stay and try to pacify him. This is all a big misunderstanding. I think we can talk him out of this one. And if not, I guess we'll fight him. Just in case, though, I think we will eat some provisions. Just so we don't die. In case of a fight. He will not be pacified as you shift uneasily around the room. He shouts a word at the dog. The dog's eyes glow with an unnatural light. It advances quickly towards you. Its hideous black teeth are coming straight for your throat. As it leaps at you, a blast of fire shoots from its mouth, right at your face. Oh no. I duck just in time, but must now fight the beast. Be warned, this dog's fiery breath deals 3 damage whenever it attacks successfully. Great, so now we're fighting a hellhound. How lovely. Oh well, our skill is 4, so I doubt we can win this one, so we'll give it one try, and we'll give it a good old college try, and if we're low on health, I think we'll run away. Oh darn. I think the dog is definitely winning this fight. Let's try one more. Well, there we go. If we could hit more dice like that, I think we'd be good. Well, this is clearly not happening. Let's try to escape. Dog takes a swipe at you as you flee. You take 3 damage, such as the price of cowardice. Ouch. Alright, so we flee. I guess we can try the door in the middle. Find yourself in a short, narrow passageway with a door ahead to the north. You try this door. Oh no. The door squeaks open on rusty hinges. The room is dark and your eyes begin to adjust. As you close the door behind you, you hear a shuffling in the room. Before you can react, a blow to your head knocks you senseless. You lose 2 stamina points. If you're still alive, which we're not. I think we died from getting bonked on the head. If the mysterious shuffling entity snuffed out the last of your stamina, you're dead. The perils of Firetop Mountain have bested you, thwarting your quest to defeat the Warlock. Oh no. Well, you can't win them all. So I think that's a good end point to our quest. We didn't win, but that's okay. You can't win every time. But what a nice read through that was. Rest in peace for the real one. The end. So there we go. That was the Warlock at Firetop Mountain. We might come back and read this again another time. I had a blast. It was a nice hour with you reading this book. Plenty of fun. So I think we'll end it off there because I have a dog to go doggy sit. So be sure to get plenty of rest, drink a lot of nice cool water. It's healthy for you. And till I see you again next time, have a wonderful time. And goodbye.